Thank you, Wanda. Okay. The bar has been set high.
Indeed.
So, let's move on to talking about wine.
Why talk about it?
Why not just drink it, right? How do you learn about wine? By drinking wine, right? Okay, good. We've established that. That's excellent. So what's going to happen now is we're going to hear one of our friends from Ottawa read, and we're going to take a little bit of a break where everyone is encouraged to buy wine. We have books right here. What?
Trade for wine.
And trade for wine.
Trade, yes. Don't donate. Donate.
Right, trade, right, yes. But you can't actually buy wine, you just can't buy this wine.
Oh.
There is some other inferior brand of wine for sale, but not the really good stuff, right? Sorry, but thank you, Ellie, for the correction. And then we're going to take a little bit of a break so people can, if they so choose, pollute themselves outside with me, or they can also take that as you will. However you want to take that, it's fine. And then books, right? And bag. Here's Dina to describe the bag.
That's such a sad reading series, and we need your donations.
Okay, so what she's saying is, that we are a sad reading series. We're all volunteer powered, and we have absolutely no other funding mechanisms because we can't. We all have ADD, and we can't finish the process. At this time, we're finding someone who doesn't have ADD, but it's really hard to do. So, any donation that you give to us tonight is going towards paying the readers and paying for our sophisticated equipment, like this.
Great, now
Break it, you buy it.
Right? Break it, you buy it. Or you can just buy it, $10. So, yeah, that's what we're dealing with. That's what you have an opportunity to do in the next little while. Let's move on. Okay. So, at one point, we were strictly a Vancouver Lower Mainland kind of reading series, and we were real Vancouver, right? And at one point, we got in our friend Peter Derbyshire, whom obviously I'm sure many of you know, was like, hey, Sean, listen, Jessica Westhead from Toronto was going to be in town, and I don't know, how do you feel about putting something together? So we did. And I remember saying to a friend of mine at W2, I was like, yeah, we got this writer from Toronto, she's coming in. We got this other guy from Charlottetown who just happens to be in town. It's going to be awesome. She's like, why are you selling out? What? Like, why do you have someone from Toronto in the real Vancouver? And I was like, okay, whatever. You know what? Whatever. So we have been really blessed with some really great writers from across the country who happen to be in town and who come and read with us. And I think it's important to welcome, make our friends feel welcome here. So tonight we have a couple of friends from Ottawa. And the first writer from Ottawa who's going to be joining us is a woman by the name of Sandra Ridley. And her book is for sale up here. Post Apothecary. It's beautiful. It's from Book Thug. Our friends at Book Thug do really nice work. And so let's talk about the wine pairing for Post Apothecary, shall we? Look no further than a Petit Syrah. Some say that this hefty red with substantial body is well suited to amateurs. What they really mean is to say that the fine blend is suitable for any wine drinker. Just as these poems are suitable for all readers. Do not consume too much wine, though. You want the poems to make you feel heady. I don't know. Don't know what happened there. Okay, so Sandra Ridley. Her first full-length collection, Fallout, won the 2010 Saskatchewan Book Award for publishing, the Alfred G. Bailey Prize, and was a finalist for the Ottawa Book Award. Saskatchewan and Ottawa. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Her second book, Post Apothecary, was shortlisted for the 2012 Relit and the Archibald Lampman Awards. Also in 2012, Ridley won the International Festival of Authors Battle of the Bards and was featured in the University of Toronto's Influency Salon. Twice a finalist for the Robert Croach Award for Innovative Poetry, Ridley is the author of two chapbooks, Rest Cure and Lift. And she was co-recipient of the B.P. Nicol Chapbook Award. Please make her feel welcome. Welcome, Sandra.
He seems nice. No, not nice. Kind. No, not kind. Humble. No, not humble. Meek. No, not meek. Quiet. No, not quiet. Reserved. No, not reserved. Taken aback. No, not taken aback. Angry. Yes, he seems angry. He prefers a short skirt against bare leg, a rabbit in her lap, a tattoo above her right knee. Faith and morphine, not God, a long list of lovers, delirious injections, a sequence of broken glass, car crashes, the air in her room, stale smoke. Yes, it was such a nice day. She was right to be wary. Before running on nightshade and wormwood in a topiary maze. Before hawthorn punctures her arm, poison-tipped. Before a peck of stones she handpicks, or pockets she is camphor-doused and blinded by a fold of wool, wet and held tight to her eyes. Before his screen and clips in the red light and darkening, his hands pressed forward to his switchboard and mirror, apparatus of the in-out and charged. Before her fluoroscopic diapositive and the smell of two kinds of heat, nothing left hidden in her body. Before and after, there is only this, 4 corners to a room and the others pounding at the door. For all the corruption in her body, she is linen-wrapped and straight-racked under his muslin tight sack as salt stains and curves bead from sternum and down leather strapped by collarbone. Behind unpapered walls, she is held and suspended, not heavy and dragging, or veiled by sulphur, but slight and swinging. Fully encased in his plaster cast, she is strung from above for a fortnight, blood on her bitten lip, a lick of rain on a boarded window, her aberrant crack of light. In a spun web or sarcophagus, silk or lithic stone, for 365 days or none, her solace a sun-slit sky. Saltpeter eyes open to shadow flickers, image flits, then forcefully shut after his pry of scrying knife. In a cocoon of luna moth or star shroud, she lies or swings there in her hectic flesh, tenter-hooked and breathless, coughs, seethes. Her words tangle in gasped, strangled speech, and a bell rings, and again his voice in the hall recedes. A faint sheen at first, hemorrhaging by half-spoonful, heightened to cup, until his hypodermic drips a circlet above her wrist, clockwise he loves her. A mask pulled over mouth's lips, ether mist as she 10 counts back from. Scent of him, discreet and chloroformic, or miasmic, a dark vaporing through the crack under the surgery's stainless door, tremors in her pulse as she is laid out again, his hands pulling until she is lying along the length of it, and she is looking at a light, and nothing is happening above her, and yesterday was lamb's wool under her walking skirt, and wasn't it, or weren't they, and didn't she hold a piece of him when she came here, before she stood listless and antiseptic? Almondine. Obsidian with mother of pearl. Her hands clasp, unclasp. He leans in and untethers her lungs. So I didn't really forget to thank you, Sean. Thank you, and I'm really happy to be in Vancouver. I've got 3 short ones. Well, sort of short. Phantasmagoria. Augury of crow before trepanning, or scintilla of cinquefoil, sinew stretched. Before bone burrow, new bit between her teeth, needle in her upper lip, and the second in the vertex of her scalp, until her burnt tinge of mothball, a locked door, behind or in the darkness of a crawl space to a briar patch. If her bed were already empty, when the worm twisted and twisted under wet gauze, ate all but for her live flesh after his footsteps came upstairs. Nettle whipped to a muscle twitch and a click, or her jaw clenched in trismus to a salt-lick blue, until a catatonic hum and a switch clicks and reflects her cornea lacking. Flit of lid, eyelash, eye stroke, wet oubliette hole filling in. Catacombed where she half slept, unwatched and bleach drunk, I clasp an ivy strand of hair, a penny from the wall. Twined, trust, dilated, light blinded by the lift of a keyless latch, floor pressed and false sucker numbed, an incubus susurrates with a red apple and an open palm, she unswallows him. I in relation to, I in a different way, I in whole or in part, my sugar cube in her mouth keeps his taste away. Clambering bush blind, bluffed by hush breath, huffing his punch-drunk throat scent, or underside, bare skin, stroked along a cut line, unbeckoned, slack-sashed, kneeling with trickles of shame sweat, or snail slime, not her lush rustling, but briar body raw and unsnugged, clambering unbuttoned, murk stumbling from leg-splayed ferns, lax bracken, lapsed halothane, halcyon, her chloroform-stained summer. Thanks.